This video is for anyone who loves having dreams but feels exhausted by the way goal-based planning has shaped their life. If productivity has ever cost you your health, your peace, your relationships, this video will help you rethink planning in a way that still honors ambition without self-sacrifice. But I also want to say this. You don't have to have it all figured out today. This video is for you who wants to create, work, and grow while still protecting your health and relationships. You are allowed to plan a life that supports you. Hi, I'm Pauline, and in this video, I'm sharing with you what broke down for me when I planned only around big goals, the moment I realized energy was the missing piece, and what changed when I started planning with my energy in mind. Big goals were not the main problem. Planning my life around them without considering what level of energy and capacity I had was. So this applies deeply if you want to build meaningful work while still feeling like yourself at the end of the day. Once it came to reaching goals, I used to think that I could solve anything that came in my way with hard work and longer hours. If I failed to tick all the to-dos, I felt guilty, and I thought I had to fix myself, optimize my productivity, and sharpen my time management skills. It worked for a while, but once chronic stress and chronic health issues emerged, I realized how much I had taken my time, my health, my body, and mind for granted. Now, planning around energy helped me accept myself without giving up ambition. And if you're interested in creating plans that work with your energy and your life, I've created a 24-hour energy tracker. This will help you move towards making plans that will actually be a support to you based on what season of life you're in at the moment. You can download it from the link below. I want to start by saying this clearly. Having dreams and goals is not the main issue here. For me, like wanting to grow, build something meaningful, move your life forward is not wrong. What I learned the hard way is that when planning becomes nothing more than just a delivery system for our goals, at the cost of everything, something important gets lost. At some point, my planner stopped being a place of support and it became a checklist. Every page existed to serve the goal. The goal determined how early I should wake up, how late I should stay up, how much of myself I should give each day. When life went smoothly, the system looked fine. I could follow the plan, I could make progress, I could feel productive. But as years went by, and after living many years of such a lifestyle, it started becoming different. When life started happening, things started unraveling. A rough week, a health flare, emotional stress. Suddenly, I was behind. Instead of adjusting the plan, I turned inward with criticism. I told myself I needed to be more consistent. I convinced myself that waking up earlier would fix everything. I tried to squeeze more productivity out of my evenings. Now, planning became a fixing project. What I needed, I was more focused on what the goal required of me, that big goal. And that subtle shift changed everything. I started borrowing heavily from my future health. I could pull an all-nighter, I could skip meals, I could ignore pain, I could meet deadlines. I always did, but the cost started accumulating. A lot of productivity advice, if not all, but many, reinforce this mindset. Not all of it, but enough of it. The message is often framed as discipline, optimization, but underneath, it is a version of a hustle culture that treats the body as an obstacle and rest as just a reward. Deep work helped me for a season, but it was powerful when my energy was stable. It stopped working when my capacity became unpredictable. Planning for output without caring about the process left me exhausted and disconnected from myself. If you see yourself in this, I want you to hear this. You do not need to eliminate your goals. In my opinion, maybe a planning approach that does not require self-abandonment might be something that you might want to think about. Awareness alone is a powerful beginning, and if this concept is vibing with you, then here's this resource that I told you about earlier. You can use this to get started. You can use it digitally or print it out and track your energy each day for the next 31 days. And it's usable any month of the year. You can use it whenever you feel that you need to get your energy checked. So I will put the link down in the description below. Everything shifted when I accepted that energy is not constant. The moment of change for me came when I stopped asking how to push harder and started asking what was actually available. what I had to give. Energy fluctuates, life interrupts, capacity changes. Planning that ignored this reality created unnecessary suffering. For me, this showed up in two very real ways. The first was physical limitation. I worked this way for so many years that I developed a series of injuries that went undiagnosed for a long time, and they're still not properly diagnosed. And actually, diagnosis is a privilege. I live with hypermobility syndrome, which means my joints are unstable and prone to injury. Some doctors say I have fibromyalgia. So recovery has been slow and incomplete. And before this, my response to difficulty was always to push harder. I pushed past my bodily limits. I remember in 2020, my neck pain was so constant that I could not even sleep at night. And yet, I was still working on my dissertation 7 days a week, so I had to face the reality. Continuing down the same path was self-destructive. The second limitation was mental energy. Now, chronic stress changed how my mind functioned. It was extremely frustrating. I would start tasks with clarity and motivation and then suddenly lose the mental clarity I used to have. My brain would simply stop cooperating. And it was deeply frustrating to have to stop even before it felt like I made any real progress. Losing momentum before things even began made me feel unreliable inside my own head. And these limitations fed into each other. Physical pain drained mental capacity. Mental strain increased physical tension. Deep focus became inaccessible. No amount of effort fixed this. It was extremely frustrating. The more I continued with the previous answer of working harder and longer and fixing myself, the more toxic it became. That was when I realized more of me was not going to change this. More effort, more discipline, more hacks. Further, now I was at a state when my body was exhausted and could not give as much as it used to. If your capacity fluctuates, that does not mean you lack commitment. I feel in my experience, it means that your body and you are responding to the reality. And planning, for me, has to be something that acknowledges. That's why I found that planning that actually acknowledges energy, my energy, where I am in my life at the moment, allows me to move forward without constantly having to fight with myself. So planning around energy helped me embody this lesson. I could enjoy the process instead of constantly chasing the next outcome. I still have goals. I still have dreams. I have not abandoned ambition, and I am no longer waiting, but I'm no longer waiting to be happy once I arrive. The journey itself has become meaningful. You can begin this today. Planning around energy does not mean giving up. It means choosing sustainability, at least for me. And yes, you're allowed to build a life where progress and well-being coexist. You understand why I focus on energy and not just on big goals. When I'm planning, a new question appears. How do you design systems that support this way of living long-term without slipping back into pressure-driven habits? These are the kinds of themes that we will be talking about in the next video. Watching that video will help you take the shifts even further. See you in the next video.